Hello, everybody. So I thought I'll walk you all through a short deck that describes the Newstype platform in particular. And you can see why it's going to dramatically change how media, which is content of any kind, is monetized, and how content creators can really become platforms on the internet. So let me share my screen. So like I said, Newstype makes it possible to create self-monetizing networks. A self-monetizing network is something that is able to produce content that is sort of self-aware. It is able to track what is happening to it as people consume it, share it, etc., across the internet, and is able to capture the profits that are made because of that engagement all the way through retail sales of anything that these content-driven influencers are able to touch. In other words, we are going to take the internet from today's prepaid, hope it works, 1%, 2% conversion, retail conversion on various platforms, to this new world where instead of trying to monetize with CPC, CPM, and CPA, we're going to go all the way to a new form of monetization called the CPS unit, cost per sale, where content creators can simply create content and earn a profit from any retail transaction that is linked to it as people share content and click and browse and invite each other on the internet. So my background, as Vimal may have already mentioned, I've built a number of tech companies and platforms over the years. And there's a lot more that we're doing this time around with Awake VC, which is a venture studio. And the key relevant platforms are mentioned here. My journey across the internet, you might say, all the way from e-commerce to content and traffic and ad tech to retail tech, and now with AI and fintech and so on over the last 10 plus years. So Newstype is the latest innovation to be leveraged by the content community. So the problem we're solving, of course, as I mentioned before, is how do you monetize content in the age of platforms, right? So I won't walk through each item here, but basically that internet, which was designed to interconnect everyone and create global prosperity, was broken in a way. These walled gardens created, fragmentation that allowed only them to benefit, and for the whole to be less than it could have been. So now we are reunifying this fragmentation, allowing everyone to reconnect back to the underlying internet and is able to leverage that raw power for everybody. So what does it mean and how does it work? It's a way to bring people together into communities that work in a way that shares data, shares profits, and directly addresses the problems of what big tech has created, the big data silos, cookies, the way they monetize by hiding data, and so on. So here, platforms or networks powered by Newstype are for focused communities, for topics, for interests, for passions, for any kind of vertical content that you may think of. And the way these authentic networks work is that as people share this content across the internet with each other, the tracker makes sure that any profit generated is automatically paid back to the people that share the content, as well as the people that create the content. As I said before, it takes the industry from an old world, hey, let's just monetize using advertising, to this completely new world where you are partnering with every business that could leverage the content and the reach, and you're becoming a platform for that particular economy or ecosystem or market network or marketplace. And what does it look like? This is the underlying interconnectivity, which makes it possible for us to really leverage the internet economy or the data economy for everyone involved in it. Today on the internet, there are people like publishers, content creators, sharers, brands, people on the internet who are consuming and buying stuff. The problem is there is no way to track this activity so complex right across everybody that no one has been able to do that. But when we deployed our latest technology, it is powered by this type of a model, the intergraph model, which is an open knowledge graph where everyone benefits, not just the platforms. So this intergraph is the network of networks, in this case, the network of media networks. So anybody launching with Newstype can plug in, and unlike Web3, Web4, Web5 tomorrow, there's going to be no need to think about technology. All you need is an internet connection and content. Newstype provides everything else in the cloud. So what does it do before and after? Before and after, the marketing funnel looks a bit like this. We have no idea how people are really coming to the purchase, and the last click is all that is known. If there is an affiliate model, then only that affiliate makes money. No one else who drove the journey of the buyer makes any money at all. This is called the last click attribution model. And that's the reason for that is these platforms where the clicks happen, people are clicking, and buying. They're not sharing data with each other. Therefore, there is no way to know what Mr. Vimal did before making a purchase, where he came from. There's no way to know that. Even with affiliates, you may know just the person who sent them last, if there's some code or some sort of third-party cookie which is going away. But even there, I would like to know who are the people before Vimal who were interacting with the customer. Right now, I will only know that it was Vimal. So the problem with this is everyone has to drive a sale, and they're pushing just because they only get paid if they're the last click, which means out of 100 clicks, only 1 or 2% convert, which means 98, 99% of my effort is unrewarded. And for me to get paid, I kind of have to push people to buy so that I get paid right now. It's not that people like doing that. There's no choice. It really adds up to a terrible experience. Now with Newstype on the right-hand side, everyone in the journey, an organic sharing-driven journey meant for people who care, meant for people who it's value for, those networks automatically co-create this value as they share, engage with each other, and when people buy, all the right people get paid out. This is community commerce where no one needs to fight with each other to win or be the last click. Everyone can just focus on the 99 clicks that don't even drive a conversion. Therefore, there is no need to sell, no high pressure sales. In fact, we tell people #no selling. We say you have to create great content, amazing, engaging content, and everyone in the chain automatically will make profit even without knowing what was purchased, right? And that's the magic of the underlying intergraph, right? Without cookies and without any of the complexities of today's internet, everyone who is sharing content on all the different platforms on the internet get paid out. So for example, here, it is showing that when a purchase occurs, Jack, the buyer, engages with somebody's post on Facebook, and then somebody's on TikTok, and then on YouTube, and then on on some sort of blog, let's say, and then make a purchase. Every one of these people are appropriately paid out based on this attribution model that is set by the network. So you could launch your own network and set up your own rules, and everybody would get paid according to that. Also, each of these people earn money when they invite other co-sellers or other members into their networks. So in other words, if Jill invited lots of people, she would make 5% of everyone's earnings. This means everyone retains 95% of their own efforts, which is perfectly fair, while also keeping 5% of the earnings of anyone they enable with the system. Very fair human empowerment, and whatever net you make, you pass your 5% on to the person who empowered you. So this is why it's very simple and easy now for all these news companies that already have content, or any content company of any kind, to set this up, whether it's print or only digital, whether you have all advertisers today already using some type of a advertising or other way of sponsored content, or any other way of driving money for you. Now you can upgrade those people to directly selling also. All the journalists and content creators get part of the economy, and the networks that you're connected to can also be enabled through this referral tracking mechanism. So what happens? That means today's experience does not change. Businesses are still able to keep their existing revenue streams, but add this new model to the mix. This makes it possible for all audience members to turn into co-sellers, to become part of the network and grow it and to participate in the upside. This means it's a partnership model. Everybody wins. All they have to know is what to do, which is where the knowledge economy kicks in. And when you tell somebody about this, you become their referral. They become your referral. You make 5% of what they make. So this is a global empowerment movement of how to create hundreds of millions of jobs now coming up as the AI wave takes out job after job in generative AI, content creation, and so on. We finally are putting people in the middle, allowing content to be leveraged for people, not the other way around. As far as advertising goes, this turns it into live commerce. So you can see how commerce becomes a native experience across the content properties, even though there may be absolutely zero connection between people who create the content and people who run the commerce part. It's totally blind to each other, while the AI, of course, understands and does matching. Lots of other tools. I won't bore you with everything, but it's a comprehensive platform to drive more engagement and more reach and more sales for everyone. It's a win-win network. That math speaks for itself. Very, very powerful network network of network markets economics, which again, I will not bore you guys with right now, but I'm sure Vimal can explain that in person if you ask. And so how do you go live with something like this? We sit down with you, we understand what you want to do, and we help you launch it, and we go to market. It's very simple. It's an ongoing engagement that we work with you guys together, whether it's a deep engagement or a very high-touch cloud-based platform type model. So that's basically it. This is this new type of fintech and AI cloud that enables content creators and communities to monetize the real internet economy that's out there. It doesn't rely on all the complexities that today's internet needs. And it also allows people to finally use big tech like Facebook and everyone else in the way they designed themselves originally, which is as distribution and connecting people, not as gatekeepers of the internet. And now we are able to sit on top of everyone and enable the original internet economy for everyone. So that's kind of how we grow in an authentic content-driven business with Newstype. Lots of new stuff coming, as you can imagine. We'll be able to do a lot with the data and with the technology underneath the hood. So, you can expect lots of fun things. I hope that was useful.